What's up guys, Card Protagonist here, and today I'm gonna do a deck profile on the Ancient World Duel Jaeger deck from the brand new Climax booster Dragon Fighters. So with the brand new support, Duel Jaeger has gotten its new form God Vortis. This monster is unstoppable with many skills, which makes it a really powerful force to reckon with. So basically our brand new Duel Jaeger has a skill it can't be rested, it can't be nullified, and so can't be removed. So all the problems that the old Jaeger used to have is now nullified, which means this card is unstoppable in a way. So combined with some cards in the deck later on in the deck profile, this card can't be destroyed on the field other than battle. So yeah, this card is, I'm actually really happy that they actually got given support for Duel Jaeger because it's one of my favorite decks. I am a huge fan of Ancient World. So yeah, let's go on to the deck profile and I'll explain some card choices and some brand new combos you can do with your brand new Duel Jaeger deck. So first up, the monsters we play is 4 copies of Duel Jaeger God Vortis. Of course, my buddy monster, because the main goal of this deck is to get out your buddy monster, which is God Vortis. So it is insane stats of 12 to 6. So it is able to run over most monsters in the game. And its 6k defense is tanky enough to help you negate some attacks. So its core cost is pay 2 gauge and put this card on top of a size 3 Dragon Chief Emperor without a soul on your field. And put 2 Dragon Chief Emperor from a drop zone into this card. So it is a lot easier to call out right now compared to its old form, which is the Revolted, which requires you to have 8 in the drop. So this deck is able to come out Vortis at turn 1, which is amazing because you'll be able to tank so easily, tank out the whole game so much easier because it has so much effects which prevents it from getting stopped. So yeah, I'm really happy about it because right now it is possible to come out Vortis in turn 1 and just play the game from there. So this card on the field cannot be rested, so abilities like Snake Gaze and Gravity Rest won't affect this card, and its abilities cannot be nullified by effects of your opponent's cards. So for example, if your opponent were to play Frozen Stars, Legend World Frozen Stars, which nullifies all cards on the field, this card won't be nullified because it can't be nullified. So you won't lose its Soul Guard, you won't lose its double attack. It is there, and this deck absolutely wrecks deck that controls the game. So you also can't be stopped by the Dragon Force from Star Dragon World. So that's actually something pretty cool as well. And the third effect is the soul of these cards cannot be put in drop zone by effects of your opponent's cards. So your opponent, back then when I was using Ancient World, my worst nightmare was to face off with Legend World Loki, which removes all soul from a card. Right now this card souls can't be removed from this card. So it is a very, very tanky unit. One of the strongest monsters in the game right now because of how insane its skills is. So yeah, 4 copies of the buddy monster, and I'll show you some tips on how you could get him out in turn 1. Next up, 4 copy of Great Ocean Hiking Duel Jaeger. So Duel Jaeger has many forms, and this is one of his forms. This is a DB2A rare unit, so this is only a rare, but this is a very, very powerful unit because with him you are able to pull off some combos to get out your Vortis in turn 1. So core cost, pay 2 gauge and put up to 1 card from your drop zone into this card. So the keyword is you may put up to 1 card. You can choose not to put any cards in the soul so that it can immediately go into Vortis. And with combination with certain cards, you'll be able to go for turn Vortis with this card. Alright, so when this card enters the field, you may discard a card from your hand. If you do, put a Dragon Chief Emperor from your drop zone into your hand. Alright, let me show you some combos, how you can get Vortis out in first turn. So let's say, for example, we have an opening hand. So all you need in your opening hand is just these 2 cards. Sturdy Dragon Strike, and let's say you just have 2 gauge in your starting hand. Alright, let's just use an example. So we have 2 gauge, we charge 1, charge and draw. Let's say we have 2 cards like these. So what you want to do is first use Sturdy Dragon Strike. Select up to 2 cards from your from your deck and put in the drop zone. So usually I'll put Vortis and him because he gives Vortis the ability to not get destroyed by monster effects, which is great because Bausole won't be able to destroy the card. So what you do is you activate this, discard 2 cards into your drop zone, and then charge a gauge. Its ability you can charge 1 gauge. Then call Ocean Hiking, pay 2 gauge and put up to 1 card from your drop zone into this card soul. So what I will do is I won't put any cards into its soul, so they have 0 soul, and then activate skill. When this card enters the field, you may discard a card from your hand. If you do, put a Dragon Chief Emperor from your drop zone into your hand. So the card that I discarded with Sturdy Dragon Strike will be added to my hand, and since I fulfilled the condition of 2 gauge and put on top of size 3 monster with no soul, there you go, easy setup. First turn you'll be able to come up with the ultimate God Vortis, just like that, so easy. And God Vortis is, and don't forget Vortis have 3 souls to boot, so it will be able to rampage down your opponent's life points easily because he has so much, he has such a tanky unit. And of course we have many cards in the deck which helps you replenish its soul, so that you'll be able to soul guard longer and tank longer. So yeah, this is the basic combo on how you can get your Vortis out in turn 1. I use that quite often, and yeah, because we play 4 copies of both cards, so it's not really hard to pull off. Alright, so let's continue with the deck profile. So 4 copies of High King Duel Jaeger. This is the MVP of the deck in order to get out your Vortis. Alright, let's go on to the next size tree. The next size tree you play is one of the best cards in the set. 4 copies of Captain Kaido. Great Pirate Captain Kaido. Cost, pay 1 gauge and put the top card of your deck into this card. So, if you have an originally size 2 or greater Adventurer or Dragon Chief Emperor on your field, reduce the size of this card by 3. So it's a size 0 monster. So for example, you have God Vortis, you'll be able to call 2 copies of Kaido side by side. So you have a triple attacking force. Alright, so another interesting effect is he has the second ability. Pay 1 gauge if you do, return a card from his soul to its owner's hand. So what you want to do is, let's say you have him at the side, you call him and you manage to charge in like a useful card which you can add it to your hand, like Healing Reen. You can actually use his second skill, pay 1 gauge and bounce it back to your hand, so you can use this card to power up your Jaeger. So this is a very powerful skill because any cards that enters Kaido's soul can be used. So example, Divine Dragon Creation enters his soul, you can pay 1 gauge, return it to your hand, you can cast and draw 2 cards for free. So that's a very interesting effect. And of course, he also can be used as an evolution target for Vortis, so because he is a size 3 alone. So you can pay 1 gauge, and let's say you survive the opponent's turn without a soul, next turn you can just evolve to Vortis easily. So in a way, you play 8 copies of the basic dragons to evolve into Vortis, which improves the consistency of the deck by a lot. It also has Soul Guard, so it isn't very easily taken down. 5/2 stats as well. So 4 copies of Kaido. Now this is more of our supports hand spells, because these monsters are more for utility and won't be caught onto the field. 4 copies of Chief of Healing Reen. So she's a very pretty dragon. Unfortunately, he's a man. So activate, if you have a size 3 Dragon Chief on your field, you may discard this card from hand. If you do, put the top card of the deck into your gauge and gain 1 life. Then you may put the top card of your deck into a soul of a monster of your field. So what you want to do is, alright, so basically what it does is, okay, discard, charge and soul. Instead of charge and draw, it charge and soul. So it gives Jaeger extra life, gain 1 extra life, heal 1 life as well. So you heal 1 life, charge 1 gauge, and gain an extra soul for your Jaeger, making your Jaeger survive much longer. A very powerful card. Definitely one of my favorites in this set. Next up, 4 copies of Bad Guy Moto. Underling Bad Guy Moto is a triple rare from D-CBT. Counter, you basically can discard him from your hand if during a battle. If you do, your Duel Jaeger gains plus 5k attack power and 5k defense. So what you do is, since Jaeger can only be destroyed during battle with the whole setup combo, you want to use Bad Guy Moto and defend your God Vortis. And if you do, if you pay 1 life, you can actually just draw a free card. So basically, you're using this card to get another free card at the cost of 1 life. Totally awesome card. It's one of the best defensive cards in this set, in the Duel Jaeger deck. Yeah. So 2 copies of Iron Tetsu, Chief of Steel Iron Tetsu. Counter, during attack on your opponent's turn, if you have a size 3 Dragon Chief, you may discard this card from hand and pay 1 gauge. If you do, nullify attack and gain 1 life. So it's a green Dragon Shield at the cost of 1 gauge. The reason why I use him is sometimes because I face against Penetrate. You want to negate Penetrate because this deck, unlike Revolted, which negates Penetrate, he doesn't negate Penetrate, and his greatest weakness is actually Penetrate. So yeah, just there as extra negates. Now, 1 copy of each tech cards. Underling No Curve Say. If you have a size 3 Dragon Emperor on your field, you may pay 1 life. If you do, put this card from your hand into a soul of a size 3 monster on your field. Then, if this card is in the Soul of a Dragon Chief Emperor monster, that card cannot be destroyed by effects of your opponent's monsters. So if it's in the Soul of God Vortis, its soul cannot be removed, it cannot be destroyed by card effects, monster effects. So Baosulei won't be able to destroy it, making an invincible tank other than battle. I mean, this guy loves to battle, that's for sure. So 1 copy. The reason why 1 copy is because we are able to dump him in the drop zone with Sturdy Dragon Strike, so that you are able to recruit with God Vortis. If you want to play 2, it's fine, just in case it goes to the gauge, but I didn't have the problem. 1 is fine. Too much is also bad for the deck. Right, Underling Battery then. A 1-tap copy just for the gauge replenish. So activate if a size 3 Dragon Chief on the field, you can pay 1 life if you do. From your hand goes into your Soul of a monster, same as Revolted. God Vortis. Whilst in the Soul of a God Vortis, when it attacks, you can charge 1 gauge once per turn. So it's good because it helps you manage your gauge, so that you have some gauge to pay for cost later on. So I 1 copy of each usually would get done by Sturdy Dragon Strike. So that is the monsters. Let's go on to our spells. Right, the spells we play is 4 copies of Sturdy Dragon Strike. Right, Sturdy Dragon Strike. It's a very old card from the 100 Demon series. Search your deck for up to 2 Ancient World monsters from your deck and put them into your drop zone and shuffle your deck. Then put the top card of the deck into your gauge. So you're able to set up your drop zone for Duel Jaeger and charge 1 free gauge as well. Yes, it may seem like you're losing a card, but setting up is very, very important in this deck, and it gives you the possibility of going to first turn God Vortis. So it is a very, very powerful card, very important in this deck. Another important card is Reflection of Dragon Moon. 4 copies. It is from the brand new Climax booster. Cast cost, pay 1 life. Put the top card of the deck into your gauge and put up to 1 size 3 Dragon Chief Emperor from a drop zone into your hand. So what I like to do is, sometimes if I do not have ways to get my Vortis back, I usually just use Dragon Strike, drop Vortis in the drop zone, then use Reflection, Dragon Moon, get Vortis back, charge 1 gauge, and just call Vortis. Alright, another reason why he is very useful is because you can use him, pay 1 life, charge 1 gauge, then add back Kaido into your hand. So since Kaido will be a size 0 after you call on the field, it's a very good card to help you get pluses, because most of the time your Kaido will die a lot. So using him, you can keep replenishing your Kaidos. Kaidos will just give you so much plus just because of his ability to bounce back a card from a soul. So yeah, 4 copies of Reflection of Dragon Moon, absolutely amazing card. So for some draw power, we have play 4 copies of Divine Dragon Creation. Very, very basic draw power. Pay 2 life and draw 2 cards. You may only cast this once per turn. This is one of the reason why Ancient World is one of the best draw engines back then. Right now we have a lot of draw engines, so yeah, but it's still a very good card to play. Helps improve the consistency of the deck. 4 copies of Dragon Emperor Legend, the alternate art Duel Jaeger version. Put the top card of the deck into your gauge and gain 1 life, then draw a card. So it's a instant +1 because you will be able to gain 1 life and 1 gauge. It's one of the best cards in the game. For some defensive spells, we play 4 copies of Dragon is Strong. So it's a Dragon Chief Emperor, so while in the drop zone, you could actually use it for its core cost to go into the soul. So that's one reason we play it, and it is also very important as a 95 destruction. Yeah. Choose a size 3 Dragon Chief Emperor on your field. For this turn, the next time it will be destroyed, you gain 1 life and that card remains on your field. So if your Duel Jaeger were to be destroyed, you could just cast this and gain 1 life instead. So protecting your Jaeger, very important. 2 copies of Dragon Within the Ocean. Our search engine for Duel Jaeger. At the cost of 1 gauge and 1 life, search your deck for up to 1 size 3 Dragon Chief Emperor and add it to your hand. You can only cast this once per turn. So just fetch out whatever pieces of the puzzle you need. Now you need a Vortis. Alright, to evolve on, just search out the Vortis. You already have a Vortis, you need some Kaidos to help you gain some pluses. Get a Kaido because it's a size 3 wall in the deck. Yeah, so it is a very, very good card. Play 2 because we have a lot of search engine already in this deck. So that are the spells. Let's go on to the weapons. So for weapons, we play 4 copies of Dragon Emperor's Anchor, Wild Waves, from D-CBT 2. Equip cost, pay 1 gauge and put the top card of the deck into your drop zone. This card can attack even if there's a monster in the center. Counter, you may pay 1 gauge and 1 life. If you do, put this card from the field into a Soul of a Dragon Chief Emperor on your field. While this card's in the Soul of a Dragon Chief Emperor, that monster gets penetrate. it has a 3-1 stats, so I mostly use it to either chip down my opponent's life points or just go for some monsters, some units. 3k can get rid of some size 1 or size 2 units, so it's a pretty nice control card. And what is very good about this card is, let's say your Jaeger is gonna die, you could just pay the counter 1 gauge and 1 life. You can go to soul, protect your Jaeger, because you just enter the soul and you get soul guard. So yeah, it's a very good weapon, because not only is a weapon, it also protects your Jaeger. So actually a very good card. But I actually kind of wish they make more weapons for this deck. This is the only viable weapon in the Duel Jaeger series right now. So yeah, it's still a very good card though. So I hope you guys enjoy my deck profile on the Duel Jaeger Ancient World deck. If you'd like to see more Buddyfight deck profiles, be sure to add me on Facebook and subscribe to this channel and like this video. So I see you next time, and keep on buddy fighting. Rawr.